Hi, it's Barry here. In this video, I want to show you how you can create your own inductions. And these could be instant inductions or rapid inductions. It could even be slower inductions. It doesn't matter because the same structure still works. Now, a lot of people try to complicate this. I've seen hypnotherapists selling books on 101 inductions. It's like, what part of this don't you get? It's really simple when you understand what hypnosis is and how to do it. And the first thing you need to understand is the old idea of an induction being a method to induce a state of hypnosis or a trance state is completely outdated. Hypnosis is not an altered state of consciousness. That doesn't mean to say you can't create an altered state of consciousness with hypnosis. It's also not a state of relaxation. It requires no relaxation. Again, it doesn't mean to say that you can't use hypnosis to create relaxation, but it's not the same thing. Hypnosis, according to some of the researchers, is nothing more than a suspension of disbelief and believed in imaginings. So what that means is the person starts to imagine something and then they forget they're imagining it and their body starts to respond as if that thing is actually happening. And so what we want to do is to create inductions that take advantage of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create inductions starting off with their current level of belief. What do they believe right now about hypnosis? And some people say, oh, I've seen, Paul McKenna or Darren Brown or something like that. I've seen a stage hypnotist. It's like really incredible. I'm amazed at that. So we're good for gold in those situations. They already have this belief there. Other people will be a bit skeptical. Well, I'm not sure whether or not I can be hypnotized. I've seen other people do it, but I'm not sure. So we're going to match them at their current level of belief. And then what we're going to do is to get them to use their imagination. So we're going to have them imagine something. We'll get to what that is in a minute, but we're going to get them to imagine something. And then when they imagine something, that's going to cause a change in their physiology. When that causes a change in their physiology, then that's going to come back up here and reinforce the belief or change the belief. Once we then change the belief, we're then going to have them imagine something else, which creates another change in their physiology, which is then going to reinforce the belief. So we're creating belief and expectancy all the time with this. So when we understand how this is really what we're trying to do, it becomes really, really simple. And this is why some of the simple inductions are often the best ones, because they start off using something that the person starts imagining, which causes a change in their physiology, which starts to enhance their belief. And a simple example of that is the lemon test. Many of you would have already seen the lemon test, but if you haven't, it goes like this. So you say to the person in front of you, you say, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to just use your imagination. I want you to show you the power of your own mind right now. Okay, you ready? And you can even pad it out and say, because your mind is really powerful. And if you imagine something really vividly, your body cannot tell the difference between a real or an imagined experience. So what I want you to do is I want you to play along with this. And you say, this is not hypnosis. We mentioned the word hypnosis. This is not hypnosis, but I want you to show you the power of your mind, okay? So here's what I want you to do. And I want you to imagine this to the best of your ability. Really use your imagination and concentration, yeah? Okay, great. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to imagine in your right hand here, you've got a juicy, ripe lemon. And as you look down at that lemon, you see the yellow skin and you can feel the weight of it in your hand. Okay, and just imagine feeling that there and looking down and seeing that bright lemon there. That's it. And in the other hand, I want you to imagine you've got a really sharp knife. I want you to imagine cutting that lemon in half. And as you do, feel the juice begin to trickle into your hands. Perhaps you can smell the aroma, the citrusy aroma up your nose. And now take one of the halves and look at it and see the yellow outer layer and then the white pithy bit and then the cut segments with all the glistening juice. And then what I want you to do is I want you to bring that half of the lemon up to your mouth and take a big bite of that big juicy ripe lemon. And really feel the sour taste on your taste buds, tingling in your taste buds. Now, for most people, when they do this, if they've done what you've asked them to do, when they've imagined what you've asked them to imagine, they're going to get a change in their physiology, because what's going to happen is, and you may have noticed this as we're doing this, that there's an increase in salivation in the mouth, right? My mouth I've got an increase in salivation. I know there's no lemon. I've done that a million times. My mouth still starts watering. So we've got a change in physiology. Now do you notice that you like an increase in salivation? Yeah, that's because your mind cannot tell the difference between a real or an imagined experience. And we've enhanced their belief. We can now go into something else. So we can now do something like the magnetic fingers, right? So you put the hands together like this, pull your fingers apart, stare at that gap. And in your imagination, I'd like you to imagine there's two big magnets on the top of your fingers, pulling those fingers together. Just gaze through that gap now. Just imagine those magnets getting stronger and stronger, pulling those fingers. That's it. That's the hypnosis starting to take effect. That's it. That's the hypnosis starting to take effect. As it get closer, 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 closer. And you'll see the look of surprise on people's face. And as they imagine the magnets, and what's happening here, we've got the same thing. Their imagination is causing a change in their physiology. It's enhancing their belief. And so you can create inductions really simply, just using this simple structure. And this comes straight out of the work of Dave Ellman. Many, many years ago, Dave Ellman, if you haven't read his green book, you need to go and read it, because it's a great book. Some of his ideas about age regression are a bit outdated, but the actual concept of hypnosis, very, very good in there. And what Dave did he would tell the person what he's about to tell them. And he would start things by saying, in a moment. And he would say, in a moment, I'm going to do X, and then you'll do Y. Whatever it is. Okay? And what he would do would enhance their imagination and tell them what they were going to tell them. Then he'd tell them, and he'd have that effect. So he'd build it up. He'd give them something to imagine. So, for example, you could create an induction. And Dave Ellman often did this with a cigarette. You can do it with anything. You can do it with a glass. You can do it with a pen. You can do it with absolutely anything. You can say to the person, once you've enhanced their imagination, you can say, right, in a moment, I'm going to have you stare at that pen, stare at the top of the pen. And then what's going to happen is you're going to stare at the top of that pen, and your eyelids are going to begin to start getting heavy. You're going to begin to start getting heavy. And at a certain moment, I'm going to drop that pen. And the moment I drop that pen, your eyes will close and you go all the way into hypnosis. You ready? Okay, great. Just stare at the pen. So I'm not going to do it just in case some of you are watching this whilst driving a car or something like that. But it's that simple. So you're telling them what you're going to tell them. So he then goes, okay, so now look at the pen. Just keep looking at the pen. As you look at the pen, notice your eyelids are beginning to start to get heavy. Heavy, droopy, drowsy, heavy, 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 heavy. Heavy, 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 heavy. Getting heavier. That's right. That's it. Even better. Heavier now. That's it. And then you drop the pen. Person goes in hypnosis. So you've enhanced it. So you can do anything. If you say, in a moment, I'm going to do X, and then you'll do Y, and the person has this contract with you that they've already tied up and got into the agreement that they are working with you, then you get hypnosis. And it's so important to understand that hypnosis isn't this weird trance state or where they're supposed to relax. They are supposed to actively use their imagination. Hypnosis is not passive. Again, so some of the other myths that come up when I talk to some other hypnotherapists is this idea that it doesn't matter if the person pays any attention to you. You know, they can fall asleep and it still works. No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Hypnosis is active. They have to actively use their imagination. And the same comes to a similar process when we're actually giving them the suggestions. We're going to give them an imaginary experience, which is going to cause a physiological change, and that enhances their belief. So it's really easy. Hypnosis inductions are so simple. Don't make it complicated. It's really, really easy when you understand that what you're doing is just meeting their current level of belief, getting them to imagine something, which causes a change in their physiology, which enhances their belief. I've even done inductions in an office chair. You know the office chairs that swivel, right? Had someone found out what their belief was, had them say, right, okay, in a moment I'm going to start spinning that chair round, and I want you to imagine that as I spin it round, that you start going into hypnosis. That as I spin it round, you start going into hypnosis. And then at a certain point, I'm going to stop the chair, and what you're going to notice is a change in how your body feels. So start spinning them round. That's right. Spinning around, notice you start going into hypnosis, and then I stop the chair. And you know, what's going to happen when you stop a spinning chair if you've been spinning in it? Your head's going to go like that a little bit. Changing their physiology, enhance the belief. And you just take it into an induction from that point of view. So inductions are really, really simple. If you understand that what you're doing is getting them to imagine something and then forget that they're imagining it, then it becomes really, really easy. You know, and it's the same thing with like the book and the balloon test, those sorts of things. They are perfect, pure hypnosis inductions. So you can go straight from the book and the balloon straight into your normal hypnosis work. So have some fun with this. Don't make it complicated. You can create your own induction on the fly wherever you are if you just understand this.